Welcome to week 19 of the JorjLim Show. I am, of course, your host, JorjLim. Thank you once again for stopping by. I'm here with the jacket, hosting the show as I do every 2 weeks right here on youtube.com/JorjLim. Now, before we go on to the viral video of the week or the question of the week, we are going to, of course, read the comments to last week's question, which was, if you had a superhero name or ability, what would they be? So I have here a more high-techly printed out paper with the comments on them this week. So yeah, the budget is going slightly up here at the show. One from the uninspired poet who says her superhero name is Noim, and she actually has a power. It's the power of madness, and it's super. Well, it would be if it was a superpower. One from Holy Fish Eye who says her superpower would be to pause and rewind time. How cool would that be? That would be pretty cool, but you failed to give me a name. So, I'm going to have to give you a name. Your name is Holy Fish Time. One here from Julian 8 Lim who says he'd be the superhero called Captain ZK. It's actually a play on Z and K, as they're pronounced with an American accent, as superheroes normally originate from the US comics. And ZK stands for Zombie Killer, which means his special power would be to, obviously, kill zombies. He's a little too late to save all the people that died last week. One here from 00Max1 who says his power would be to summon Chuck Norris, and he would, without him killing him. He'd then realise it was Chuck Norris, so the whole not killing him part wouldn't work, and he would be stuck in England and would destroy all the chavs with Chuck Norris's ability, and of course destroy the entirety of England using only the shavings of Chuck Norris's beard. Lovely power there. One here from Hall Squire says she'd be able to manipulate water, and her name, she couldn't decide on a name, but her name would be something cool and weathery. That's now a word. Like storm or shark bait. You want a name? Your name, water manipulation. Your name is going to be the water manipulator person. One here from Nathan9441 who says his name would be JorjLim and he would create awesome videos. He also leaves a sub-line saying, can he have a crap prize now? No, you can't. Simply because I don't give prizes to suck-ups. One here from 4 Beers Time who says he'd be called the Intelligent Man and his power would be to crush people with his mind. His raw intellect would destroy all the stupid chavs and less clever people, so basically everyone around him. Lovely, he'd be the last person alive. One here from Robin Byrne who says he wouldn't like a superhero name, but his real name, Robin, has already been taken. And he would have magical YouTube powers to make people publicly embarrass themselves whenever he recorded them. That is a great power, and let me just say, you'd be a millionaire. You just send all those clips into shows that you've been framed. You get £250 a pop. One here from Catchala who says her power would be to have total and 100% control of her brain, allowing her to travel in time, bend spoons, and other things like heal with touch, and give cuddles from long distances with just her powerful brain. Effectively persuading, communicating with insects, fish, plants, people of every race and language, and being stuffed animals in life, and my hero name would be Bubbo. Fair enough. One here from Interview with the Cat who says she's already a superhero. Do I not feel her powers of awesomeness as she speaks? Well, you're technically typing, so no. One from here from Psychotic Snake who says, haven't we had this question already? And I have a feeling we have. Not to worry though, because we've had a few answers here which we didn't have last time. And he would be some kind of human-dragon hybrid. Maybe, you know, have a chameleon sidekick as well. And his name would be Samuel Nelson, Anderson Kenneth, Edward Monty, Arnold Nougat, the 448th. Or Snake Man 448. I'm going to stick with Snake Man 448 simply because it's smaller. One here from XFFTL 8MyHeartX who says her superhero name would be Giggles, and she would laugh, and it would cause a chain reaction of other people to laugh, and she would win all her fights. And last but not least, one here from Miss Princess Sarah who says her superhero name would be Fantasy, and she would have the ability to rob banks with her mind. Not 100% sure how you'd be able to pull that off. And now it's time for the crap prize of the week. And this week's prize is this. It's a tiny little cap for what seems like a camera. tiny little cat for a little webcam. And this week's prize is going to Psychotic Snake for just being able to think up a full name for his superhero. With Samuel Nelson Anderson, blah 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 blah. You'll get that once you get your powers and your tail. Now, of course, it's time for the viral video of the week, and this week's viral video was sent from my friend Hot Turn of Salt over on Twitter as a direct message, and he sends me this clip. Check it out. I got you. No, the real viral video of the week is in fact this clip. It's called "The Front Fell Off."
Senator Collins, thanks for coming in.
It's a great pleasure, thank you.
This ship that was involved in the incident off Western Australia this week...
Yeah, the one the front fell off?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not very typical. I'd like to make that point.
Well, how is it untypical?
Well, there are a lot of these ships going around the world all the time, and very seldom does anything like this happen. I just don't want people thinking that tankers aren't safe.
Was this tanker safe?
Well, I was thinking more about the other ones.
The ones that are safe?
Yeah, the ones the front doesn't fall off.
Well, if this wasn't safe, why did it have 80,000 tonnes of oil on it?
Well, I'm not saying it wasn't safe. It's just perhaps not quite as safe as some of the other ones.
Why?
Well, some of them are built so the front doesn't fall off at all.
Well, wasn't this built so the front wouldn't fall off?
Well, obviously not.
How do you know?
Well, because the front fell off and 20,000 tonnes of crude oil spilled into the sea caught fire. It's a bit of a giveaway. I just like to make the point that that is not normal.
Well, what sort of standards are these oil tankers built to?
Oh, very rigorous maritime engineering standards.
What sort of thing?
Well, the front's not supposed to fall off for a start.
And what other things?
Well, there are regulations governing the materials that they can be made of.
What materials?
Well, cardboard's out.
And?
No cardboard derivatives.
Like paper?
No paper. No string, no sellotape.
Rubber?
No, rubber's out. They've got to have a steering wheel. There's a minimum crew requirement.
What's the minimum crew?
Oh, one, I suppose.
That was "The Front Fell Off." Brilliant video there. If you want to check that video in full, or again and again and again and again and again, go check out the link in the description box below there. Now it is time for the part of the show where you can ask me anything. Any question you absolutely want. A this or that question, a yes or no question. And this week it comes from 4 Beers Time, who says, Jesus or Mr. T? And he doesn't really put it in context, so I'm going to assume he means fight, simply because that was the question I was asked last week. And who would win in a fight, Jesus or Mr. T? Mr. T would win in a fight, hands down, simply because Jesus was incapacitated. In terms of awesomeness, Mr. T would probably win in the fight, simply because Jesus was just a crazy person. And in terms of hair length, of course, Jesus would win. Age, Jesus would win. Height, Mr. T would win, simply because his hair is a little bit taller than Jesus is. And I'm probably going to get sued by the Christian community, but who really cares? Now it is time for the part of the show where I ask you the question, the part of the show where we wouldn't be here without. This is, of course, time for the question of the week. And this week is submitted by XFFTL8MyHeartX, who says, what do you think of the new YouTube layout? Now, I strongly feel it's got some good points, it's got some bad points. The comments I'm not a fan of, simply because they're now just a mess. The like and dislike I don't like, ironically. I prefer the stars. And the general aspects of like favoriting and stuff, it's just all become a little bit more complicated. You have to go through like 7 different subtext menus. The fact that the subscribe button is now up there is also a little bit confusing as well. But some of the things I do like the layout of the page is now the same no matter if you're on my channel or if you're on the video of the JorjLim Show or my other videos. So now I can say the description is always down there and the other videos are always over there behind the screen. Now it is, of course, that is the question of the week. And now I would like to hear your answers. Please put those in the comments below. They are still there. Put those in the comments below and leave video responses as well. Please, I haven't had a video response in weeks. That is all for this week's edition of the JorjLim Show. I hope you've enjoyed your stay. And until we meet again in 2 weeks, I have a catchphrase submitted by a viewer called Scotty the Jockey, who says, shaving is for pussies. I'll see you guys later.